Hello guys, how are you? So in this tutorial, we will learn about the structural column schedule, the topic as per our Revit certified professional exam tutorials. In the documentation tab, we have create and modify the column schedules. Okay, so we'll be finishing with this today, which is very important. As per me, the documentation tab is very important compared to other tabs because anybody can model the 3D models, but documentation is done only by the professional engineers or the one who is having the good knowledge of drawings and standards. So I'll minimize this. This is my structural file. I'll go to 3D. You can see we have a good structural model here. Now we have to extract the data from this model. Okay, which is very important. If you are not able to extract the data from your model is waste and your work is also not good. So the importance of BIM is that you can create a thing in 3D, you will get the 2D data with it, and sometimes 3D documentation also. I'll show you later. Okay, now we have to extract the column schedule in this model. Okay, you can see here there are several columns here. If you people want this model, okay, so just comment your email ID in the below video. Okay, so I will be forwarding you this model. Okay, and one more thing, if you want me to do live session about this model, how to do this type of model, since this model is having several elements of structures such as raft foundation, okay, tie beams, okay, normal floor beams, slabs, shear walls, okay, and there is one more thing, holding tank, and this is normal water tank, and one more thing is parapet. Okay, right. So let us start with the column schedule. If you go to project browser, you can see there is schedule and quantities tab. If I right click on this, if you go to new schedule or quantities, you can create your structural schedule from this also, or any schedule from this tab. There is one more method. If you go to view tab, there is one icon for schedules. If you click on this, you click on the schedule or quantities. Again, you will get the same tab as previous. Now, in the filter list, I will just check the structure. I will not check architecture, mechanical, electrical, and piping. Why? Because if I click on this, all these, I'll get several elements in my category thing. So I'll not be able to select my structural columns. It will be difficult to find out the same thing. So I'll just select the structure. I will go down here and I will select structural columns. Please note it down. There are other types of columns are also here. Analytical columns and columns. Don't select these things. Just select the structural columns. Okay. So now what you want to keep your schedule name. I want to keep my schedule name as the structural column schedule. Now the phase should be the new construction. Okay, it depends upon your project type. Okay, if it is existing and you are doing just the renovation thing, you have to just select existing and you have to make these layers in your model. So now I will click on the OK tab. So now I will get the properties for the schedule. There are several properties of the schedule which are fields, filter, sorting, grouping, formatting, and appearance. The main important thing in the five things is the fields. Okay, now I will select only the structural columns. The available fields for the structural columns are these fields are nothing but the parameters. You can also create these parameters by selecting here the new parameter, or by creating a formula for the parameter, or you can combine the two parameters with one. Means maybe you are having certain calculations for the structural thing, and you can just combine those two parameters to one. For example, uh, if you are having L shape of column or T shape of column, where you are having more than one dimension for only one face, you can just combine those two dimensions and you can put that as whole length of the column. Okay, for example, again one more thing, if you are having stepped footing, if you have to add the total depth of the footing, you can just add the depth of first footing and depth of second footing. You can just create two parameters and you can add those parameters and combine with the help of this icon. So now for our structural column schedule, we need the base level of the column. To set out the columns on the site, the site engineer will be required to take the base level information, count, family and type, mark, top level, and the last thing is, where is that, length. So now again you can see here, if I select any of the parameter, I can just put it on the top or below with the help of these two marks. Okay, so I will select my mark on the top and I will select my base level here, my top level to be after base level, and now I will select the length and family and type, and I will select count to the last. I'll just click OK. So now my schedule has been generated automatically. You can see here, I'll just drag this, again this. You can see my schedule has been generated. I'll just remove these marks, no need. Okay, so with the help of this schedule, you can modify the existing columns also. This is the importance of Revit and this is the importance of BIM. Okay, you can just modify the parameters here, and the same parameters of those columns, only those columns will be modified in the model. For example, if I want to change this length here, the length will be automatically changed in the model. Okay, so alright, you can see we have several types of columns here, 800 by 200, 1000 by 200. Again we have 800 by 200. Okay, since I have selected family and type. Okay, so based on this family and type, you can just reduce your table. Okay, so I will show you now our table how it will be reduced. Okay, I will go to the sorting and grouping tab. You can see here, I will sort by this table with the help of family and type. I'll just click OK. Now you can see my 200 by 200 columns are first based on the size. The schedule has been rearranged. Okay, 800 again, 900 again, 1000. So, but again my schedule is very large. My columns are repeated, and which is giving the count for every column. So I want to have this 200 200 in one line, and I want to know how total number of these type of column. Again I will go to sorting and grouping. You can see here, I'll just add header and footer. Okay, I'll just click OK now. Now you can see my all columns have been separated. My this type of family has been separated. My different types of family have been separated. But the problem is I want to have total number and only one row for this column. Again I will go to grouping and sorting. I'll just uncheck the itemize every instance. I will uncheck here, just click OK. Now you can see the magic of the Revit. The only thing is I don't know why my top and bottom things are not appearing. Okay, so we can fix this. Maybe in my model the top and bottom is not fixed properly. Or one more thing I will show you. Sorry, I forgot. I'll just go to sorting and grouping. I'll take none. Sorry, what happened? I'll just select okay, family and type, and then by the base level, and then by the top level, and then by the length. So now you can see base, because we are having different types of column in different floors. We are not having only one column till to the top roof. Okay, we are having different type of column at different floors. Okay, so based on our base level we did separate, based on our top level we did separation, based on our length we did separation. Okay, right? Okay, so because of which we are having 800 by 800 columns two times, because it is having the base level or top level or the length in difference. So now it is giving me the total columns here. So now I want to mark this column based on my length. Okay, since we are having 3 meters, 3 meters, 4.32, 4.32, these lengths are same, but the base level and the top level is different. So on the basis of base level and top level, I will put the mark. Okay, I'll just put here C1, here C2. No, see one thing. No need to put these mark in your plan and come down here and again put marks here. Check here. It will create nuisance. Just by looking on the your top and base level things, you can just make the mark in the column. Okay, but the important thing is this type. Okay, all right. I'll click C4, C5. For example, I will put only up to C5. Okay, right? I'll just show you the example. Now my schedule has been finished. Rest of the things you know how to fill these things, so no need to put all these things. I'll go back to my typical slab layout. Okay, you can see here. I'll click on the column. There is no mark. I'll click on the second column. There is mark here because we put the mark on random columns. We don't know exactly which column we put. So now I will go to annotate tab. There are two methods of tagging. One is tag by category, another one is tag all. So I'll just select the tag all. I'll go to the structural column tags. I'll check this because since my structural column tag has been loaded, if it is not loaded in your project, you can just load from the tags category in the families. Okay, so I'll click apply and I'll click OK. Now you can see my tags have been placed, but how you will read based on your mark category? You can read with the help of dimensions in the in your plan, but with the help of mark, how you will read? If I go to my typical slab layout again, I'll click on my tag, I'll go to edit family. Okay, I'll check this and I'll go to edit label. Now you can see my type name and mark has been loaded already. Okay, we did not notice this. I will just close this. You can see for certain columns why it is not appearing. You can just click on this column. We have marked D5, but why it is not appearing? I will go to edit family. Okay, I will click on this label. I will edit label and I will go to mark. I don't know why it was showing. I'll go to mark, maybe that is showing because since we did not place mark for that column, but the tag category is been edited. Okay, edited by adding the mark parameter. Okay, that is the thing. So now for this is second family, maybe if somebody made duplicate of this family, I'll check the mark, I'll click OK, I'll load into the project and override the existing version and its parameter values. If I click on this, check here, my d5 thing has been appeared, which is my d5, this one. I'll change this to c5. I'll go again back to my typical slab. Now it has been changed to c5. Wow. So with the help of C5 or column mark, he can just categorize the columns. So this is the way you can complete the structural schedule based on the base level and top level, based on the or otherwise based on the length, or otherwise based on the family and type. You can just mark the columns. Alright.